Hey guys, it's Laurel. Today is Saturday, June 29th, and this is FLOSSTUBE number 41. I've been gone for a little bit. It's probably been a month or pushing a month since I did a video. Nothing's going on. I just, life happens, and I don't normally film a video right after StitchCon anyway because there's so many StitchCon videos out there that my little channel just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. So I was like, everybody's got plenty to watch. I'll just put it off for a little bit and then I'll come back and get caught up. So I have a lot to show you today. A lot. You can see there's a new quilt on the wall. We'll talk about that in the quilting section. Apparently I'm crooked. Let me see if I can straighten me up. There's that better. I know my daughter, stuff like that makes her crazy. If that bar would be crooked in the whole video, she couldn't watch it. Okay, so I hope y'all have had a good couple weeks. Let's see what has happened. Father's Day has happened. Just everyday life. I work in the automotive industry, so if you're aware of what's going on in that world, I'll just say we're experiencing that right now. So work is about to get very interesting. So that will be something to look forward to. I only have 2 dogs here with me today. I have my daughter's dog. She will be here until probably Monday, Tuesday. My daughter's at the beach. It's her last big trip until she does her military trip. I can't even think what you call it. It's when they go for 2 weeks for training. So she'll be out of the country later on this summer for a couple weeks, but right now we still have the puppy. My husband's dog is here, and she's very sad because my son took his dog to his girlfriend's apartment for the weekend because she is out of town and he's there dog sitting her dog. So he took his dog with him, and my husband's poor puppy, she just doesn't know what to do without her best friend. So she's a little sad. She came in here earlier and she was a little bit mopey. So we'll see. I have a little barrier up here on the door for her. So I don't know if she'll bust in or not. She might just go in there and take her a little nap. So that's what's been going on in my normal world. That's pretty boring, right? So let's talk about stitching world. I have a couple kind of FFOs. I have developed a superpower. I know it's very impressive, but my superpower is I have the ability to know exactly what kind of frame I want for a project. I will go to the store and come back with the wrong thing. I have, excuse me, 2 finishes. So that would only require 2 frames. I have bought 8 frames trying to get what I had envisioned in my mind for these 2 pieces. One of them is spot on and I'm happy with it. The other one, I don't know, it's still up for debate. So I'm going to show those to you first and you can let me know what you think. They are not laced yet. They are trimmed down and they're kind of popped in the frame, but they still have to be laced and put in there permanently. The first one is Old Glory, and this is actually these are both out of the Teresa Kogut book, Broad Stripes and Bright Stars. Here's Old Glory. And, they're just store-bought frames, so they have kind of glary glass, but I do love this one in this frame. I was originally going to do it as a pillow, but I only have so much space on my shelves for pillows, so I have to get out of pillow mode just a little bit. But this one is stitched on a 36 count linen. I think it is Cafe au Lait by Fiber on a Whim. I think, I could be wrong, but I've said it in a previous video. I love it. So the frame is what I was looking for, something kind of barnwoody, rustic. And I like it. That fits in there really good. So it's in a, what is this, 3x5, I think, frame from At Home is where I bought it. So I'm very pleased with that one. Sorry, you're going to see the back of my head, and I'm going to leave screen a lot because there's just not enough room right here. So the second one is also from the Teresa Kogut book. Like I said, Broad Stripes, Bright Stars. It is also a frame from At Home, and this one is called Our Trust, I'm pretty sure. This is the one I'm not 100% sure of. So in my mind, I envisioned a navy frame, like barnwoody, distressed. This frame is like a bluey silver. So right now, I'm just debating. It's in there. I'm still going to lace the piece up because I am going to leave it in a frame of this size. But I don't know that this frame will be its permanent home. So y'all tell me what you think. Because I feel like the frame is almost too modern for the piece. I think it needs to be a little more rustic. But then again, I don't know. I'm going to take these pieces to work and display them at work. I keep my patriotic stuff at work right now because I'm running out of room. But I love the piece. It's stitched on 36 count Aztec Red by Weeks Dye Works. I stitched this with my friend Pam. This was my second thing I stitched on linen. The first piece I stitched on linen. It's beautiful. I love it now that it's finished, but I hated the process. This, I loved every bit of it. And I think it's just because my friend Pam told me I could do it. So I did it and I love it. All right. So been a while since you've seen an FFO from me. So there's a couple. I also have a finished stitch piece. This is, I talked about it in the last video. I was using this as my, I'm sorry, there's all kinds of activity going on my phone. Hold on. Oh, very cool. Okay, sorry. Somebody on my little stitchy group. It's you, Rebecca. I'm reading your text while I'm doing my video. This was my 2 threads a day piece. Little House Needleworks. Hands to Work. I stitched this on a 28 count tea coffee dyed. I didn't dye it. That was the darker of the Monocos. 28 count Monaco, 2 threads over 2. I love it. The colors have changed. You can tell from the original chart. Well, it didn't show very good on the camera, but the pinks on the picture are a little brighter than the pinks over here. And the yellow is brighter. But I love it. I love those little sheep. Love it, love it. So this will also be a frame. I haven't been able to find a square frame anywhere that fits it, so it might have to be a custom. I don't know, but I'm not in a super big hurry to have it framed, but I would like to start whittling away on my finished stitches and turning them into fully finished objects. So we'll see. You know, it just kind of depends on the day. Sometimes where my mind is and my thought process and what takes priority at that particular moment. It just, they get finished when the mood strikes me, I guess is all I can say. Sorry. So, I'm sorry again. I went and had brunch with my brother-in-law, his family this morning, and it's getting me a little bit. I took my medicine. The puppy's trying to get in. I took my medicine, but it's getting me a little bit, so just excuse me. So let's talk about whips that I've worked on since I saw you last. I'm not trying to do these in any kind of order, and they're not super organized, so I might be fluttering around a little bit, so just overlook me and just look at the beautiful charts. The first one I worked on, I did start on Prudence by Plum Street Samplers. This is a stitch along that me and Michelle are doing. I love it. Now, when I talked about this in the last video, I was going to use I'm a blank. What fabric was it? What linen was it? It was in the club that I was getting. But I went out after the last video and I was sitting on the couch. We were watching TV and I was stitching on it. And I was coming down this side. And I got halfway down and I was like, oh, this is looking kind of tight. So I came back in and laid my piece out and got all my lines and everything real straight. It would have fit on the fat quarter, except the bottom was cut just a little bit uneven, just a teeny tiny little bit, but it made it close enough that my margin on this side was just going to be too small. And I just know it was going to stress me the whole time I was stitching it. So I made the decision to start on a different fabric. I had not gotten far enough along that I was just distraught about the amount of work. I was just doing the vine. I hadn't got any flowers or anything, but I did have to stop on that one, and I've already reassigned it to another project because it is beautiful linen. So I'm now stitching it on 36 count Milk and Honey Fiber on a Whim, because I think I had actually just bought this in the last video, and it just happened to be there, and I was like, you know what, I think it's gonna work on that. It'll be real cute. So that's what I did. So let me just fold it up. I don't have a ton done. So I started back down this side with the vine. So I came down far enough to make sure that, you know, my margin was going to match. I put in 2 of the flowers, which are stunning. And I started on this tree. So my thought is when I get it back out, I'm going to finish this tree, and I really want to start on the words. So I'll maybe do a line of words and then come back and do a couple flowers and kind of back and forth. But oh, it's so pretty. So if y'all want to join us, I will put the hashtag down below. But again, this is a sow, me and Michelle with 2 base stitchers. I haven't done a video in a little while unless I've missed it, so hopefully they'll get one out here before too long because they're really good. I will list them down below also. But I'm loving this one. I'm so excited to be working on this. There's going to be a terrible aftermath of a mess from this video. It doesn't normally. No, it does normally. It's just a mess. There's no way to not make a mess when you're filming a video. It's just, there's just no way. All right, so I'm trying to get I don't want to show you haul just yet. There's a lot of haul. There's always a lot of haul. But it's not my fault. It's all of my friends' fault because they show me things and they know that I don't have willpower. And this is what happens. Oh, I'm moving all my haul out of the way to get my whips. My whips aren't even over there. This is how organized I am. I am not. All right, I'm back. This begins the portion of Laurel in and out of the screen. So I worked on. So Hands to Work was one of my Whip Go pieces. My other Whip Go piece was Anniversary. Happiness to You, Dear Friends by Blackbird. I was supposed to have worked 2 hours on this. I didn't, but I did touch it. So all I did was just start the other bird. And I might have put maybe 1 strand over here on this side, if that, but it didn't get as much work as I wanted, but I did put it in a hoop versus just trying to do it in hand. And that is making it go a little bit faster because this one is a 32 count Heritage by Picture This Plus. And I started at 2/2. I talked about that last time. And it's just, I should have done it 1/2. But if I put it in the hoop, it's working out better, so. Oh no. that we're about to turn over. The next piece I worked on is Elizabeth Hunt. This is a With Thy Needle and Thread, and I am stitching this with Diane Sutton. I love this piece so much. I mean, I love it. I mean, I bought it because I loved it, but I don't know that I would have started it right away. But when Diane was like, hey, yeah, I want to start, I am so glad she did, because this is, you just have those stitches sometimes that are just so much fun to stitch. Like, it's just so enjoyable. It gives you so much pleasure. There's nothing about the chart you don't like, and that is this one right now. There is nothing about this chart that I have not enjoyed stitching. So I am stitching it on a piece of 36 count Tyco by Picture This Plus, and this is where I am. So I came over, I did the bird and the bird and the dog at the bottom. I did this bird, I did this flower, I think I did the middle flower. I finished some of the color on this tree. I probably, for assignment wise, I probably should have finished a couple more flowers at the top, but I'm ahead in the stitching of the words as far as what we have charted out. So I'm okay with that. Those pinks, oh, I love them. I love them. I'm going to have to quit saying I'm not a pink girl, because just, oh, look. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. So I hope y'all went over and started following Diane, because she's amazing. That's all I'm going to say. Hey, Diane. Okay. The next piece I worked on is, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get the chart in the right order. Oh, please. I can show you a picture. This is I Wait for the Lord. I'm stitching this with Kim Goldman, Contented Needleworker Kim, and Krista Ray, the Wildflower Stitcher. I will list them down below. If for some reason you don't watch them, you should, but I'm sure you are. We had another little Zoom the other day, so I was able to get a little bit more done. I have actually replaced my Sunday stitch that I was working on, which is Disturb Us Lord. I love that piece, and I'm really far along on it, but I'm just kind of at a stall right now. Like, it's not giving me joy to stitch on it right at this moment. So I decided that I am going to put that to the side for right now, and I'm going to use this as my Sunday stitch. Now, some Sundays I get a lot of stitching done, and other Sundays I get almost none done, because Sunday is a busy day for us. But this is where I am. This I'm stitching on Exemplar. It's a Lakeside linen that my friend fixed me up with. I'm stitching it with MPI Silks. So last Sunday, I think I finished up this row and maybe put this in. During the Zoom, I did a little bit down this side and this little bit of zigzag. Because I love to Zoom. It's really fun. And of course, it's, you know, you do a lot of talking. I mean, there is some stitching, but it's a lot of just enjoying each other's company. So, oh, I can't even fold it up. Like, what am I doing? I put my needle right in the fold spot. I need to get some kind of system in here where I can just start hanging my stuff somewhere as a whip versus putting it in these bags, because the wrinkles are just insane. But that's a project for another day. All right, I have also yeah, I feel like I've stitched on this since I saw you. This is Louisa Coulamore. I'm stitching this with my friend Pam. We started this on New Year's Day. It's lovely. Just lovely. I cannot wait to get down into some of this stuff. I didn't finish everything I wanted to finish for this month's assignment, but that's okay because I have one piece I'm trying really hard to catch up to, and I'm going to show you that next. Catch up on, and I'm going to show you that next. So I'm okay with this one. We don't have a set time frame for this. I had just split it up for myself in assignments, but I should have, if I was caught up, I would have everything on this row, down to this row, all the way across finished. Am I making y'all drunk yet? But that's where I am. And it's letters. It goes by really fast. It is just, you just sit down and start stitching letters, and before you know it, you just have a ton of them done. But this is also on a fiber on a whim. 36 count eggshell, and I'm using 1 strand over 2 of DMC 3777. That one's coming along nicely. When I get all these big ones done, they're going to be done like pretty close to, I don't want to say all at one time, but pretty close. And then I'm going to have a ton of money tied up in framing, so they probably won't get all framed at the same time because that would be a lot. Hold on, I'm not putting my charts back in my folders. I don't think it's that I'm out of practice. I think it is hot here today. It's 89 degrees and it's going to be in the low 90s today. My husband had to get up and go to work this morning for a meeting, and then him and my son met to play golf. So I hope they're okay out there in this heat. I'm sure they're having a great time, and I'm just a worrywart because that's what I do. Okay, and then the last thing that I worked on, sorry, since I've seen you last, is Teresa Kogut, Dwelling Place. I know y'all are like, would you hurry up and get caught up with this thing and quit showing it to us? But I just love it. I mean, I am so enjoying working on this. So this is where I am. So there is a method to all this madness that you see, because I know it's a little scattered. So this month's assignment was the little yellow at the bottom of this, the pot of flowers above it, and then this line right here of these. So this month is complete. The middle section that's missing, that is from the previous 2 months that I was behind in, but I'm getting caught up slowly. And then down here in the bottom, I just had this quirky moment the other day at lunch, and I've been thinking about all these animals that are down here at the bottom that I talked about. All these animals down here that are going to have to be stitched. There's no way I'm going to do that in the time frame that I had allotted for it. So I decided every once in a while I would just stitch an animal. So I started with the little squirrel. So that's why there's just, in all this sea of stuff, there's this little bitty squirrel down here at the bottom. It's just so I can start on the animals. You know, I'm sure y'all have all done this. You're working on a chart and you're like, oh, I sure would like to stitch that down there. That's where I am. But me, it's this red flower. I've talked about it before. Oh, I cannot wait to get to that. Cannot wait. So this one I'm stitching with Jan Holder of Hoop It Up with Jan. She had some phenomenal finishes in her last video. If y'all haven't watched it, you should. And also Phoebe with Moonshine Stitchery is stitching this as well. I don't think she's shown hers in a little bit. I don't know if I've gotten all the way through her last video yet. But she's stitching it also. Jan is using, I'm using the Call For colors. Jan is using from her stash. And Phoebe is also, I think, using her own color conversion. All right, so I think what's left down there is plans. And then I have haul. Let's do plans first. pull them all up here, so I have to quit going up and down. All right, so since I finished my 2 strands a day piece, I picked my next one. It is the Maker and Mender. Maker and Mender. Every time I try to say this name, I get tongue-tied. The Maker and Mender by With Thy Needle and Thread. There's so many people finished this. We had a little, I'm going to talk about it in a minute. We had a little mini retreat with our stitching group, and one of the ladies brought this finished, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited to get this back out. So this is actually stitched on a piece of Aida. I think it is, I'm pretty sure it's 18 count Affogato. I don't know who that's by. It left me. I don't want to guess and say wrong, but I'm pretty far along. So this shouldn't take a crazy amount of time if I do 2 threads a day. It's so pretty. I already have the frame for this one. Do you see a pattern here? Do you see a pattern? But so that will be my 2 threads a day. And then new WIPCO numbers were drawn for July. So what was drawn for me was Serendipity. That's taken me 112 years to do. This is on 16 count navy Aida. I do love it, and I think it'll look cute displayed back here next to my other Fat Quarter Shop cross stitch piece. I also want to do it in a white frame. This has been a bear for me because it is stitched with Weeks Dye Works, and Weeks Dye Works does not like this piece of fabric at all whatsoever. But I got some a waxer, so I'm going to try that, and hopefully that'll go by a little faster. So that was one of my draws. So that, per my rules, will get 2 hours of stitching. The other one is Quaker Pumpkins by Hello from Liz Matthews. I am not stitching these words. I am stitching Autumn Harvest, and it will have leaves over here instead of the birds. I am going to do this bird, but I want this to be fall and not Halloween. I am not a Halloween stitcher, but I love the colors in Halloween stitching. So if I really like a chart, oh, there's a lot of thread on here. Ooh, ooh, look at all that. That's terrible, Laurel. It's terrible. So if I really like something, is where I was going with that. That is a Halloween piece. I will look at it and see if there's something I can do to un-Halloween it and make it more fallish. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. So this is where I am. This is on a piece of 16 count Aida that I coffee tea dyed to death. This is one of those pieces. And it's so pretty. It is such a pretty piece. I would love to have it finished. I love a Quaker. I love fall. I don't know why it's taken me so long to do. But I'm trying, especially, well, I don't know. Because like I said, I still like stitching on Aida, but I feel like I gravitate more to my pieces that are on linen. So I want to make sure that these pieces that I've started on Aida that I love get attention and get finished. So that will be my 2 WIPCO pieces. All right, so I'm going to start showing you haul, but there will be some stories in there a little bit. Because some of the stuff I got at a little mini retreat. So, it's okay, baby. You're okay. You're okay. It's okay. She's crying. So last weekend? Weekend before? I don't even know when it was now. 2 weeks ago? Anyway, it was a Saturday. A Saturday that my local stitching group The lady that organizes it is the most organized person I've ever met in my life. She is very even-tempered and organized, and she is really good at organization. She is just, her personality just fits great with this. So she got us a spot at a church to stitch for the day. There was probably, I don't know, 18, 20-ish people kind of in and out throughout the day. It was an all-day event. You know, if you could just come for a couple hours, you could just come for a couple hours, and that was fine. It was the people in our stitchy group. One lady, bless her heart, she didn't get to come, but she had something better because she had a new grandbaby born. So that was exciting. We had Faye Rigsby came from, I don't want to tell you a story where she's from, but I know a lot of you know Faye. She came. She drove in for the day, for the bulk of the day. But it was just a good day. We just went and stitched and talked, and there was all the stuff that you hear about at the bigger retreats. We had a snack table. We had door prizes. We had a brag table. We had a free table. We had a sale table. And it was just a good time. I mean, this group of ladies is just wonderful. Like, I have yet to meet one in this group, and there's still a couple that are in the group that I haven't met, but I have yet to meet one that I just didn't think was a wonderful person. I actually talked to a friend of mine. She also came. She's a little bit newer than me to the group, but she's been coming, and she came to the stitching day, and I'd text her afterwards, and I was like, you know what? That was so much fun. And like, out of all those people that were there, you know, there's normally a weird one or one that you're like, oh, they're a little off. There just wasn't one of those. And then I was like, oh, you know what that means? That means it's you. That means if you didn't think anybody was weird at the event, you were the weird one. So I was the weird one at the event because they were all fantastic. Just fantastic. So I'm going to start with the stuff that I got there. And I may or may not have all of it because I was a little scattered when I came home, and I was just so excited, and I just got stuff everywhere. All right, so they had some stuff, like I said, for sale, and some stuff that was freebies, and some people just brought stuff for everybody, and it was a good time. I took 6 things with me. It was like a 9-hour event. I took 6 things. I didn't even get done what I wanted to on the first thing that I took because this was. But anyway, I did buy this from one of the ladies. It's one of the nerd hoops. I really like a spring hoop, but she had this there and she was selling it pretty cheap. And I was like, you know, I know it was like the craze there for a little bit and then it kind of died off, but I was like, she was selling it pretty cheap. So I was like, okay, it's all right. I'll try it for that price. It'd be good. So I got me one. I got some. Oh, hold on. Well, somebody had a bunch of binder rings, which I can always use these for my Etsy shop, so I snatched those up. This was from Rebecca. She had some little charms that she gave everybody. I think she said these are Tim Holtz, I think is what she said. So this is the one I picked. Then she also she had several waxers in different shapes. So I picked this one. Let me take it out the bag, maybe you can see it better. It's adorable. It's like a little, like, daisy looking flower. Can you see? Isn't that adorable? I almost hate to use it, but I really want to try it because of that piece that I was talking about. But it's so cute. I don't know. I can't remember if she bought these somewhere or if she made them or what she did, but she's very on top of things. That was really cool. And then she also had a set of these cards from the Fitzwilliam Museum. Look at that. So pretty. So this is a little piece out of Anne Gibbons' band sampler. So I have that little card. So that was super fun. And then I have a little stack of stuff. Some of these were charts that I bought, and some of these were off the freebie table, but I don't really remember which is which right now. So I'm just going to go through them and show you. And again, just there's a very wide variety of what everybody was stitching. We took our, the lady that organized it, she said she thought it'd be fun if everybody brought their oldest whip. So everybody brought their oldest whip. So we reached the point in the day that we were getting ready to go around the table and show everybody. And she made the comment, she said, oh, wouldn't it be fun if, because we're going to do another one of these in November. And she said, wouldn't it be fun if we all try to get these done by November and we bring them back, and then if you finish, you get like an extra entry in a drawing or something. And I was like, oh, I should have sandbagged this big time, because mine was pandemic. I have one page done. That won't be done by November. But I am going to try to put a little effort into it just for fun, just to see where it is by November. But I got some of these little project tags that somebody... Sorry, I was trying to get it where I could flip it. That somebody had done. Isn't that cute? And on the back, she has this. Now, I have something coming up in my Etsy shop that will be here next week that I'm super excited about. And I've only told a couple people. I was trying to be all hush-hush so nobody would, like, steal my idea. Somebody could already be doing them. But I'm going to do a separate video next week, like a little 5-minute video when they get here and show them to you. I'm super excited about them. I'm gonna say right now. I got, somebody had several Lizzie Kates up, so I got a couple. This one is Forgive Quickly. It's one of the little snippets. I thought that was really cute. And I also got, I had to get this one. Bacon Bits. So these say, you are bacon to my eggs. Bacon makes everything better. Friends are the bacon bits in the salad of life. I mean, that's very profound, right? And I love you more than bacon. We love bacon in our house. It's okay. It's okay. I got another Lizzie Kate, Think Deeply. It says, think deeply, speak gently, love much, laugh often, work hard, give freely, and be kind. And I just liked what that said. I think that's good advice for anybody. I got that one. This one, JBW. I had seen this one before, and I don't know. I think roosters and chickens are just neat and cross stitch. I don't know why. I'm not a chicken person. I'm not a rooster person, but I like them. So this is French Country Rooster, and I've looked at this several times, and it was there on the table, and I was like, well, I guess it was meant to come with me. I'm pretty sure that was on the free table. And then I got some project cards. Looks like these are some from Tiger Lily Designs. They're Christmas. I guess they're all the same thing. I didn't even pull them out to look, but I think they're all the same thing. So that's kind of neat how she does her little project cards. I'd just be using index cards, but I was like, oh, they're there. That'd be good. I'll take them. And then I also got this. This was a pattern by Fat Quarter Shop. I almost signed up for this one, but then I was like, oh, I was kind of back and forth. And then there it was on the table. So there we go. All right. So that, hold on just a second. Okay, sorry. The girls were just being too much. So Dad had to go night-night, take a little nap. So I'll try to hurry so they can come out. All right. So, but that was the retreat. So I'm super excited. We're going to do it again in November. We're going to do a smalls exchange, and that sounds super fun. So I'm really enjoying this little stitchy group. We meet, they kind of rotate. One week they'll do a Tuesday night, and then they do the in-between works like a Monday afternoon. So then if people can't come during the day, they have nighttime. If people can't come out at night, they have daytime. So that works out really good. So I've been super excited doing that. I've got a couple other friends that we kind of meet on the in-between weeks of the Tuesday evening because we can't do days, or I can't do days. So I've been getting lots of, I don't want to say lots of stitching, but lots of stitchy companionship while we're supposed to be stitching. All right, so now I'm going to move on to haul. Now remember, I haven't seen you in a month. Okay, I haven't seen you in a month. And you know I'm all about buying something on sale, so I'm just going to leave that right there before I show you all this stuff that I have. The first thing I got was, I am part of the Homespun group on Facebook where you can get the exclusives. I did get the Scarlet House, Mary Finley. There is a second exclusive. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. There is an exclusive in the Homespun group that is a Scarlet House. I can't think of the name of it, but it has trees, cross-top birds. That one is through the Homespun group. I did not get that exclusive. I got this, which is an exclusive with Kitten Stitcher. Sorry, I was about to say that completely backwards. So it came with a little sticker that she's so good about doing. I love when you order from her and you get a sticker. So this is Mary Finley. I love Scarlet House. I talk about that all the time. Love her, love her. I just couldn't do the bigger exclusive. It wasn't in my budget because this came with Mason linen, and I'm super excited because I've never used Mason linen, but I've heard everybody rave about it. I did not get the floss. It has a conversion for needlepoint silk and DMC. I might just do it in DMC. I'm not sure. I'll have to pull colors and kind of see what it looks like. But I'm very excited about that. I say that all the time, I know, but I am very excited about stuff. I'm easily excited. I don't know if I showed this to you last time. It was in a pile, so if I already showed you, I'm sorry. This is the second to the greatest of these. I may have shown it last time. But so I now have 2 out of the 3. Haven't stitched one yet. But I have floss for it. I did, and the fabric did come back in stock, so I hope to get that ordered here soon. I got another piece of Fiber on a Whim brown sugar. I have one piece, but I'm stitching Mary Miller on it, and I love the color, so I just went ahead and got another one. It was on like a flash sale or some special sale, I can't remember. So I was like, yeah, I will buy that. I got a piece of 36 count smoke. A 1/16 of a yard blue. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who the dyer is, but anyway, I got this thinking it might be good for a project that I'm going to show you in a minute, but I wound up not liking it for that. But I think that I will stitch the Plum Street, I think it's called Remember Me. It's the pink house with the eagles. I think that I might stitch that on here, because this is similar. It calls for eucalyptus, and this is a similar shade. I think the colors will be good on that. So we'll see. We will see. Okay, what else? I got, maybe I'll go here. No, let me show you this first. So I got a couple patterns. I had told you before I had a chart coming that has a big quirky bird on it, and it came. So it is Sir Dandy by Hands to Work. I love him. I don't know what he's supposed to be. Maybe he's a turkey? A peasant? A turkey? I don't know. I don't know what he is, but he's quirky. I love him. So it has MPI or DMC. I'm not about to buy all them colors at MPI, so this will definitely be a DMC when I start it. But I just thought he was cute. I don't know. I don't know why these quirky birds talk to me. I do have a couple, like, realistic bird charts. I have Beloved, which, oh, is so pretty. There's one that I want, but I haven't bought it yet because I know when it comes, I will stop everything else and stitch on that. And that is no net. No net. No net shall something. I can see it, but the bird looks red, white, and blue. That's why I love it so much. The bird is like patriotic. So, love it. The next things I bought, I was influenced by Sandy and my stitching group because we were, I think it came up during like one of the stitching nights. She had showed a picture of this chart that she had stitched. Now, I am not all about a sea turtle, but I love a turtle in a quilt and I love a turtle in cross stitch. I care about nothing else being a turtle, but those two things, I just think are beautiful. I don't know why. Now, I've told you 147 times that I love Quakers. And then she shows me this. Just look at that. I mean, really. Is that not beautiful? This is a free chart from Al Forest. No, it is not a free chart. Back that up. It is not a free chart, but it is a very low price chart at Al Forest Embroidery. They do have a ton of free charts that are amazing. And I know you've seen them. Pam would just keep stitches a lot of theirs. The Huga Stitcher stitches a lot of those. But you should go on there and look. They're really, really pretty. So I got this one because I was trying to hold out. So she had talked about it in stitching night, and I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it. And then when we went to our little mini retreat, she came and she had to leave for a little bit, and she said, when I come back, I'll bring that with me. So she brought her piece with her. Yes. So while I was on there looking, I bought another one. Now this one I have looked at for a while. This one is called Southernland. Yeah. I first saw this one on Mischievous Stitches a long time ago. I don't know how long it's been since she's had it done. But it's gorgeous. It only takes 4 colors. Yep. So, there's that. Then I got Missy and Kathy, I think, talked about these. I don't know if these were the right ones, but they were talking about the tabs that you can get for oh my gosh, words, Laurel, for your Weeks Dye Works thread, that you can put these little hang tabs on there and they will be more in line with your other ones, because you know how they kind of spin around the ring if you use those. So I ordered some of these and I'm going to try that out, and I will let you know next time if they work. Okay, and then I did a thing that I should have done a long time ago, and everybody has been telling me, like multiple people have told me, because it's not a secret that I love Teresa Kogut's stuff, and everybody's like, are you in her Patreon? And I'm like, no. Are you in her Patreon? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, but I think I'm going to. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to join when it's closer to 4th of July, because I know she'll put out a lot of patriotic stuff, and I love her patriotic. So I went in there and I was like, you know, I'll just get in for July, and then I'll stay in. Like I said, I'm not into Halloween. I know she releases a lot of Halloween later on in that group. And I said, I'll just jump out at Halloween, then I'll just jump back in after Christmas or something. No. I got in and I will be in there forever. It is so good. Like, I'm not in any other Patreons. Like, I didn't know how it worked. She gives you like really good instructions on how to get in there and do, and she is constantly posting something in there. It is so worth the little bit of money that you spend on that. So I printed off these charts, and I know you've already seen these from other people, but so I'll just flash them real fast. Love them all. And then I went down and I clicked on that little tab that said hometown. That's when it got me. That's when it got me. So I'd seen people stitch in the hometown, but I hadn't paid a ton of attention. But I did go ahead and, like, if you join right now in her Patreon, anything upcoming or in current month is free to you, but you just pay $1 a chart for the ones that you're missing for hometown. So I went back and I got January through May, which will wind up looking like, this is where it'll be. Beautiful. And you don't know. I mean, she may not release this later. I don't know. She said all her Patreons don't get released. But I love it. Good job, Teresa, as always. So I went and got me a piece. I ordered me a piece of linen, 36 count vintage country mocha. I always want to say that backwards. So I got that. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I feel like there was somebody else I was going to talk about that had something to do with that, but I don't remember. But anyway, Amanda had sent me a text or a messenger message about Hello America coming out. That was on pre-order, so I've been having my eye out waiting on one of my normal stores that I order from to have it up, and I will be snatching that one up. So I'm sure by the next video I'll have that in hand. It's so pretty. There's 7 charts in it, and there are 5 that I am so super in love with. The other 2 are cute too, but there are 5 that are just yes and yes and yes is all I can say. All right, so let's talk about plans for a minute for cross stitch. So I'm going to continue working on all my 100,000 whips that I got going on. I'm going to try to work on my, I'm sorry, the puppy, I put them up and they're just so sad right now. I don't know if you can hear them whining, but they're okay. I want to work on my 2 whip go draws. I'm going to try to get caught up on my assignment stitching. I still have not pulled the floss for that Plum Street that I want to do. There are 2 charts that I talked about in the last video that several people mentioned they would be all about, interested in a stitch along with those. So I'm going to try to get that stuff together and talk about that in the next video and maybe have some startup dates for those. And then me and Rebecca are going to start this piece. I've had this for I don't even know how long. I have the floss. So we're going to start this together. I took a piece with me to the little retreat just to, see what she thought about it. And she had this gorgeous piece, and she is the most given person on the planet. For any of you that know her, she is a sweetheart. So she has a piece of 36 count Steinbeck by Needle and Flax that is beautiful. So she let me bring it home to cut a piece off. We're both going to stitch it on the same linen. And then I'm also going to continue to work on my I Wait for the Lord that I'm stitching with Kim and Krista. So I am so loving all this time with my stitchy buddies. I love every minute that we get to, Zoom or FaceTime or spend time together. It's very much what I need in my life right now, and I'm very appreciative of all those people. I am also very appreciative of y'all and y'all taking the time to sit and watch me. I have about 10 more minutes worth of jibber jabber about quilting stuff. I know some of you may not be interested in that, but I do not intend to show any more cross stitch in this video unless I just forgot something that I catch out of the corner of my eye. But like I said, maybe 10 minutes on quilting. Okay, so normally I go straight into haul with quilting, but I have haul and I have this quilt to talk about because I haven't really done too much of anything else. I've had a little bit of trouble over the last couple months with my neck, and it's kind of it's reached the point where it's affecting the amount of time that I can do certain things. So there's not been a lot of quilting right now. So I'm working on getting that rectified. I have a doctor's appointment. I'm going to go see if I can get something done about my neck. But anyway, this quilt that's hanging up was the Liberty box from Fat Quarter Shop. Not last year, but the year before. Sorry, I about fell out of my chair. I took this to camp maybe 2 camps ago and finally got the top finished. And I finally got it sent off to my long arm quilter. And she did a fabulous job like always. I absolutely love this. It is so pretty. Just so pretty. Which, you know, patriotic, of course it's beautiful and pretty, but I'm very tickled to have that up on the wall for a little bit. I'm sorry. Okay, so that being said, I did get this year's Liberty box. I would assume at this point that everybody has their Liberty box from this year. I did get last year's too, but I haven't done anything with it yet. If you didn't get this year's Liberty box and you don't want to see, or if you ordered it and it hadn't come yet, just don't look for a minute. I'm not going to show everything that's in it because I'm sure other people have already shown everything. But this is the quilt pattern. And I love it. So I will be very tickled to start on that. And I will just say, again, I've said it before, this box has been well worth it all 3 times that I've ordered it. I haven't ordered any of the other boxes. I had a friend that ordered the Valentine box one year. She said it was great. It was a super cute little quilt that she had in there. So if there is a season that has a box that you love that season, I do recommend purchasing that box. It's wonderful. All right, so I did get one pattern. This is Out of Bounds by the Guilty Stitcher. I think that this is the same designer that did the Labyrinth quilt. I don't know if I've shown that on here or not. I will eventually, it's not quilted yet. I'll eventually show it when it gets quilted. But if you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's on my quilting Instagram somewhere. But it's also a illusion type quilt. So I saw this and I was like, oh, yep, I think I'm gonna need that. So this would be one that I would probably cut out altogether and then take to quilt camp with me to put together, because I don't think it's a good idea to do a, work on an hour here and an hour there. I think you're going to have a big chunk of time to put it together and not make a mess out of it. And then I got my next Simple Whatnot. This is month 5 and this is called Stash Hash. I love it. So now I'm officially behind because I haven't even cut out the one from last time. But that's okay. They're little. I love them. When they get done, they'll get done. It's fine. So I'm very excited to have that one. I got my new American Patchwork and Quilting. Look at that. I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, any colorway would be pretty. You could do all scrappy. You could do all blues. You could do all blush and cream. You could do peach and coral and navy. I mean, just any color combination, and that would be gorgeous. Gorgeous. The problem is I get all these quilts and there's not near enough time to do all of them. So I want to show you one other one. I also think this is a very pretty quilt. And again, any color combination. But I thought that was very striking. This one is called Cool Summer. It's designed by Maggie Honeyman. Super pretty. And then I bought something. I haven't done this in a while. I was on Amazon and I was looking for this particular book by pattern by Elizabeth Hartman that we had somehow stumbled across on the last quilt retreat that I went to when we went to quilt camp, because we got on this whole big conversation about Elizabeth Hartman, and we looked it up and saw this pattern, and I was like, oh, that is so pretty. So I was on there looking for that, and somehow this book popped up, which is not Elizabeth Hartman, and I felt like I had to have it, so I bought it. Because I was like, oh, I just love all this stuff like this, right? This is the back cover. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty, so pretty. So I got it, and it got here. I think I had this book at one time, and I gave it away. You know, the things you do. So, because when you look at the front cover, the inside is not exactly what you think is going to be from the outside cover. But it's still a good book, and I obviously liked it enough to buy it twice. So I will keep this one. It has stuff like this. So here's Storm at Sea, which I love. I think is one of the prettiest quilt blocks. It has Kaleidoscope. Again, beautiful, beautiful quilt block. And it gives you like different layouts of these. It has this one called Blazing Star. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Again, I mean, you could do these in any color that you would want. Just going to show you one more. I should have marked these, but I didn't, because that would be silly. This, I've always kind of wanted to do one of these. I see them occasionally. I think that's cool. So, I have plenty of stuff to keep me busy for the rest of forever. But the internet is wide and vast, is all I can say. So, I think that's all I have to talk about today. If I miss something, I'm sure it will surface back up in another video coming up. Like I said, I do have a new Etsy thing coming, and as soon as it comes up, I'll just do a separate little like 5-minute video on that. I hope to sneak some quilting in before I see you again, but we'll just have to kind of see how everything goes with my neck and whatnot. So I'm going to jump off here, go grab me a little bit of lunch, kind of start my chores, and maybe settle down a little bit later for either a little stitching, or I do have another quilt that needs binding. I could do that, so I'll see which one of those strikes my fancy a little bit later. So I hope to be back in 2, maybe 3 weeks, just kind of depending on life and everything. And until then, I hope you get lots of stitching, lots of quilting done. Bye, guys.